Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever, wherever you're watching this. My name is Marcus Octavius, and I really wish I wasn't having to make this video, but it looks like there's been a situation that's developed within the past few months that has sort of, for lack of better words, forced my hand. Now, for the record, I am perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, I'm more than fine. I have, as my previous post mentioned, I got a number of medical issues addressed that were concerning me. And I am actually on the good foot, ladies and gentlemen. So this is not necessarily about me. What this is about is unfortunately a situation in the pop culture world, specifically the cosplay community. As many of you know, I am a big advocate for cosplay. I'm a cosplayer myself. Been doing it for about 20 some odd years. Started out in steampunk, still do steampunk. But as many of you know who follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, I have sort of branched out, for lack of a better word. The Dread Pirate Deadpool, the Black Panther, and all this and all that. But what I'm also is a cosplayer of color. And that can carry with it all sorts of advantages and disadvantages. And unfortunately, we still live in a world where, trigger warning, racism is a thing. Which brings me to the purpose of this video is to address, unfortunately, and again, this is a video with a lot of trigger warnings. I'm going to be discussing a lot of different subjects. So please brace yourself. There was a suicide done by a young UCLA college student by the name of Ashley Paxton, who went under the online nom de guerre, if you will, of Squid Kid 1111. Now, the reason I bring this up is because this particular person not only was a bright college student with her whole future ahead of her, she was also a cosplayer of color. And in fact, I'm please forgive me, I'm going to read directly from an article here because I want to get the numbers right. She had over 15,000 followers on Instagram and over 72,000 followers on TikTok. She was very popular, she was very liked. It is believed that the reason that she committed suicide, and I have very little proof of this other than testimony from others, I freely admit this, is because of online bullying and harassment, specifically having to do with her being a person of color. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very frank with you. I've been very lucky in my cosplay career, for lack of a better word, to where my situations or instances of any sort of racial tension have been next to none. I don't interact with a lot of people who want to judge me based on the color of my skin and measure me by my size. I'm a bigger, one would call me a plus size black man who does cosplay. I mean, it's evident. Look right there. 3 different masks, 3 different characters. Um, what one of the many things that just rattles my cage is that we are still dealing with this, not just as a society, but in a community that is supposed to be warm and welcoming and acceptance of all types. It is a long and hard and ugly road to get to acceptance. I remember many a time I felt like the token black person at some sort of sci-fi convention, and then you start seeing more and more and more. And nowadays the spaces are so full of just a wide variety of not just racial types, but also those who have gender or relationship orientations or sexual orientations. Just it's not just a space for, some sort of quote unquote white guys and white girls that are allowed to be in there. It's these spaces should be for everybody. And when you get online and you decide to be something of a keyboard cowboy and attack some young lady who is literally living her life, I sit there and wonder who hurt you? Who hurt you in such a way to force you to attack another person? What sort of deficiency do you have in your heart or your soul that you think it is okay to attack a 20-year-old black female college student who does cosplay because of the color of her skin? We need to stop. We need to stop with this whole gatekeeping mentality that I see in so many subcultures now. I've seen parts of it, not to get too off the page here, but I've seen it in a number of different groups. I've seen a little bit of it in like the gothic sub community, gatekeeping, people of color don't belong there and things of that nature. Anybody worth their salt will tell you we have as much right to be there as anybody else. And nobody nominated you to be Mr. Gatekeepy. Well, I'm going to defend the subculture or defend the community. You know what the community needs defending from? People like you who choose to attack 20-year-old college students. Get a life, get a hobby, grow a brain. We don't need this. It's horrible, it's repulsive, it's wretched, and it is not in keeping with so many franchises to which the cosplay community, the sci-fi community, and the pop culture community were built and based upon to begin with. You're not getting the hint. Just stop. Go find another hobby. Go do something else other than harass and bully. You're not helping anybody. And it's not fair that somebody took their life because of what you said. This is going to be cross-posted both to Facebook and YouTube. So if you feel compelled to share, please do. For those of you who follow me, my links are on all the respective pages. I have not decided whether or not to post this on Instagram. If I do, it'll probably be a YouTube link. So please keep that in mind. I am Marcus Octavius, and thank you for listening.